So hello everyone. I hope you guys doing well. So my name is Sarah Yunusova, and today we are happy to start our second live session. As we all know, we already had our last session last week, and we believe so. We hope so that you all guys satisfied from the answers which is you have got from us. And if you have got any more questions for those who couldn't ask, and unfortunately, like it's time about the time, who couldn't ask the questions, so you can always ask by calling us the number above, which is mentioned, and also you can always email us, and we are always happy to receive your emails. Also, you can just email us your feedbacks, your advices, and we are happy to receive, to hear your advices, and so we're gonna try move accordingly. So thank you, and we are happy to start, and we are ready. So here's Mr. Inam Rana today, and also me. We're gonna start, and we're gonna try to help you guys for your questions, to give answer for your questions. And also one more thing, that today we just want to talk about human rights, like for those who is up to apply or who already applied the applications, which is for those who have been for a long time in this country, and also have established life, like private life in the UK. So, Ms. Rana,
please. Thank you very much.
Yes.
It's so nice of you for inviting me once again for your group interview, and which also goes to All Life page.
You're always welcome.
Thank you very much, Sarah. The last time we covered it was a very good response, and that's why Afraz decided that we should continue this. I'm thankful to him as well, and your UK group as well. And last time when we had this program, the most of the questions, considering it's an immigration group, are mostly with regards to immigration, although we can try to cover other topics as well. The other thing is that mostly people ask questions about human rights. So therefore, we decided that this week we will focus on the human rights application. There are different aspects of human rights application. Mostly when we talk about human rights, it's about the people who have been living in the UK and they have established their private and family life. People who have children here, maybe people who have been maybe living here for such a long time that they have established their, if not family life, they have established their strong private life. So we will try to take calls. The last time we did not expect such a such a huge response and number of calls. So we actually spoke for a longer time between me and Afraz, and we discussed the idea, and then we took the public calls. This time maybe it's better we get into the public calls as soon as possible. So I will also have time to respond to the most of the questions. People can ask, I think there are numbers where you can call and you can ask the questions, and then we have the group. In the group, you guys can write the questions, and we will try to respond to them. And also you can ask questions at the Facebook page of Julian Rana Solicitors, or you can call us. There is a number which is, you will repeat maybe, what is the number to call?
There is a number which is, I will give you just in a minute, which is you're gonna give, which is 07448894258. So you always can call to this number, and so we'll try our best.
So in the meanwhile, before we start taking calls, we would be focusing on human rights application with regards to three different aspects. One is the human rights application on the basis of long residence, which is 20 years. That is based on your private life in the UK. If you have been living in the UK for around 20 years and you have established your private life, and you can show that your bonds and your emotional and financial or social bonds are more stronger in UK than your country of origin. In that case, you can apply for your human rights application on the basis of this long residence. There are certain requirements to that you have to fulfill. Even if you have not been living 20 years, still I believe you should try. Some people who have been living maybe 17 years, 18 years, and they do qualify other requirements, but only the length of the time. I believe the Secretary of State does exercise his discretion in such matters. There is always space for discretion. There is always a space for discretion of the Secretary of State in certain circumstances, and one should always try to avail it, because it has been established by the case laws that when there is a discretionary power, it has to be exercised. So therefore, even if you have not completed 20 years long residence in the country, but your private life is strong enough in the UK rather than back home, your bonds are more stronger here rather than back home, I would always advise to file an application. The other aspect of the family life is that maybe you can take the call. It's fine.
So we can start responding the calls then.
Yeah, because I know within
Yeah.
1 year, 1 hour, we wouldn't be able to reply to that.
Yeah.
I will keep talking about the things in the meanwhile.
Okay. Hello.
Hello, it's a immigration talk.
Yes, you can speak. Hello.
My name is Mohammed, and I'm calling. I'm currently on Tier 2 visa.
Yeah.
And I am almost 2 years finished my country Tier 2 visa, and I'm working with NHS. Now, as a physiotherapist, now I want to work as a physiotherapist.
I'm sorry, you have to speak a bit loud, sir. That's very, yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, it's better.
Yeah, so I just want to extend my visa with another NHS trust. So I applied like a normal standard application on May 9th. And I sent I given my biometric on 16th of May. Then I submitted my documents on 23rd.
Okay.
And after 23rd, and I got it after exactly 7 weeks of application submission. I got a letter from the Home Office that also we decide every application in 8 weeks time. But
what is your question, sir? What is your question?
My question is, I got a letter. They can't decide my application within 8 weeks time.
Yeah, they can't. If they can't, the Secretary of State has a right to hold the application and do all the verification checks for 6 months. So within 6 months, 6 months is their statutory time. They have to decide an application within 6 months. If they don't, then you have a right to ask. Although in certain cases they can take more time if they are doing certain investigations or something. But still, it's better. Before 6 months is not a statutory time limit, so they won't do that. Okay. Okay, so we will get more calls.
Yeah. So.
And also we were talking about the human rights applications. So human rights applications you can also file on behalf of your on the ground of your family life established in the UK. If you have been living in the UK, you have a family here. It can be your wife only, or it can be wife and children. Children are living here. They have established their life here as well. In that scenario, you can also file your human rights application and ask Secretary of State to decide it. Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
This is Mr. Rodriguez.
Please don't tell your names. I will request everybody who's calling, don't tell your names. Just tell the exact question what you want to ask.
Okay, the question, this one, I am tier 2 general. The question is saying it's first year complete, then you have to definite ILR. What time it start? When is the get visa or when is coming into UK?
Now it starts on the date you got the visa if you enter within a month. Okay.
Within the month.
Okay.
And when it complete 5 years.
Yeah, once you complete 5 years, you are eligible to apply for it.
So before 28 you have to?
Yes, before 28 days you can apply.
Okay, thank you.
Hello.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening.
I just want to ask a couple of questions here.
Only one question you can ask.
Only one question.
Yeah, please.
I'm on the visa, yeah. I got the visa basis for the daughter.
Okay.
I'm out of animal.
So you have discretionary leave, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
So can I make a sponsor for my parents so they can come over from India and see my daughter?
You got the visa on the basis of your daughter. You have a discretionary leave of 2.5 years.
Yeah, 2.5 years.
Yeah, you can you can be a sponsor to your parents.
So which documents do I need?
Well, that's a good question. That's a long question. You need to attend the offices, book an appointment, and then come to the office. Okay? Thank you. Hello. Yeah.
So actually, someone give me this number.
Okay.
Can I any solicitor firm or something?
So what is your question, please? We are doing a program. I'm representative of Julian Lana Solicitors.
Immigration.
Yes. Yes. What is your question?
Normally, I apply for ILR.
So, sir, what is your question? What?
Can I see, or if you sending that, then can I coming on that?
Okay. Okay. They will be. What you can do is you can text on this number, and they will be sending you the address. Okay.
Okay.
Thank
you.
Okay. People, thank you very much for calling. But when you call, don't tell your name or number.
Details.
And you can put your question. Try to keep your question precise and to the point, so other people also get the details. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Am I talking to someone at the UKBA Immigration?
So, what is your? Do you have an immigration-related question?
Okay. I'm here on a spouse visa, and in a few months I'm going to have to apply for LR.
Okay, just hold on a second, please. Hello, just hold on a second, please. Okay, so.
Now the thing is, I just wonder, when I came 2 years ago, I got diagnosed and obviously I got certificate results, everything for, I'm actually classed as disabled as autism. Would that help?
So you are autistic yourself?
Yeah.
And what visa you have at the moment? Spouse visa. So what do you want to do with your autism?
Would it help waiving off the requirements? Because I am classed as disabled, obviously.
What kind of requirements to be waived off?
Requirements, firstly, the financial requirements, and then secondly,
but your wife is fine?
Sorry?
Your wife is fine medically?
She is on her way to get her because she's got arthritis. So she's on her way to.
No, arthritis is not a disability in that sense. So if you are thinking about getting exemptions from the financial requirement or all that, no, you don't qualify for that. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Hi.
Just a quick question. I used to have a tier 2 visa since 2012.
Okay.
And last year, I got my indefinite leave to remain. My family was under the tier 2 dependent visa,
Okay.
which they got in 2012 as well. But they went back to went back home for a year.
Okay.
And now their tier 2 dependent visa is due to expire. Will it be possible to apply for ILR for them as well, or has the 5-year cycle been broken?
No, I mean, obviously, I'll have to see the exact chain of the events. But what you are telling me, according to that, I think it's broken. So you will have to wait.
So when the visa expires, do we need to extend it as a tier 2 dependent visa, or is there any other form?
No, I think you will have to extend it under tier 2 dependent visa, unless there is something. I would suggest there is a free consultation. I would suggest you come with your documents. I'll have to get into the details, and once I get into the details, then I would be able to help you. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, so people who are texting on this number, don't text your questions here. It's better to call or email and all that. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes. Hi.
It means just applied on my immigration status. I came in England from 2013 on the student visa.
Okay.
I switched, I got married. I got spouse visa in 2013.
Okay.
The basic sort of exemption from financial circumstances because my missus was my seventh man.
Mm-hmm.
Then I switched that visa in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stating as well. And then recently, the person my missus was being at, her kid was stopped, due to which her care was stopped for some time. And then their side was attendance grounds, and she was doing her care grounds. My question is, I'm still working at the minute.
Okay.
But the thing is, I'm supposed to take my 18,600 pounds as well.
Yeah.
But the contract I'm on at the minute, that's supposed to finish in December, and my indefinite stay is due in May.
Just hold on a second. Just hold on a second, please. Hello, just hold on a second, please. I'm putting you on hold. Okay. Okay. So your contract finishes in December.
Yeah.
Okay. Then.
And my indefinite leave to remain will be in May 2019. The only question is, if I meet the financial requirement by the end of December, can I apply in May or April for my indefinite leave to remain? With the fact that I'm already over 18,600 pounds, does I qualify, or Home Office just need to see the 6 months proceeding to the application?
Now, when exactly you're due for the ILR?
May 2019.
So you can only apply 28 days before that.
28 days.
Yeah. Okay. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, hi there.
Basically, I was going to ask a couple of questions.
One question you can ask, please go ahead.
Okay.
Just hold on a second. Hold on a second, please. Hello. Hi, I'm just putting you on hold for a sec, please. Okay. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Basically, I was in UK like for 10, 11 years, and after that I went to prison. After prison, they sent me back to my country. And then they banned me like for 5 years, 5 years time finish, and now I came to France.
Okay.
Is it able from France to go to the embassy? What should I do? Give me an idea to come back to UK because I had a visa, everything like that.
No, but why you were sent back?
I was sent back basically. I did a crime. I was in prison for some time, and after.
When they sent you back, was there a ban on you? Any kind of ban?
Yes, it takes me for 5 years, and after 5 years, it's taking me can come back.
Okay, so that ban is over.
Sorry?
You have completed the 5 years?
Yes, I completed the 5 years, but in my country there is a different situation. I couldn't wait for 5 years.
So you came to France, and you are in France at the moment?
At the moment, I'm in
France. What is your immigration status in France?
In France, I got nothing at all. So.
Well, in France, you have nothing to stay on. I think I would suggest you apply something in France. Because for UK, you will have to go back to your country of origin, and you can only apply from your country of origin. Okay?
From here to the IOM office can help me.
Sorry?
The IOM office said to me, in my country, to go to IOM office, they can make everything for you.
No, but you are in France. You do not have a legal status there, so you have to go to your country. Okay? And you can only apply from there. Okay? Okay. Hello? Hello? Oh, okay. Hi there. Sorry for keeping you hold for so long.
That's fine, no worries.
Yeah? How can I help?
So, discuss my case. I came in 2012 as a student visa.
Mm-hmm.
Between the 3 years, I did study like 4 years, and I get my degree from this country.
Mm-hmm.
On that duration, I get married on 2016 with a British girl, and we married legally in the council.
Okay. Okay.
They give me permission to get married.
Mm-hmm.
I get married on that time. My visa was 5 months left.
Okay.
Visa.
Mm-hmm.
So in that time period, I was collecting her payslips to apply for FLRM.
What is the question, sir? What is your question?
The question is the visa in the base of 10 years rule. After 2 years, they refused me twice.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to discuss that, but I'm applying for FLRM.
Sir, as technical, and you understand it's complex matter. I would suggest book an appointment, come and see me for a free consultation, and I'll see your documents and I'll let you know. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
But while you're calling, the basic questions obviously we can answer. A general question we can answer, but when you go into the details, into the documents, you should understand it's not easy to answer that without consultation. We have an agreement with with Mr. Afraz and Sarah that people who just hold on a second, sir. The people who come through the group or even through our Facebook group, if you have an immigration matter, we will give you the 15 minutes free consultation, and we wouldn't charge you anything for that. In these circumstances, I would need to see the document. Hello, hi there. Ma'am, just hold on a second. Just hold on a second. Hello, just hold on a second, please. Hold on. Okay, yes, I can hear you. Yeah?
Hi there. I came in this country on tier 1 dependent visa on my husband. I got married back home in India.
Mm-hmm.
And then after I came in here, within like 2-3 months, I got divorced with him due to domestic violence.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, straight away I claimed asylum.
Mm-hmm.
Then I claimed asylum. They refused me on the basis of saying that India is like secular country. It's really big. It's 2 billion people. You can go back. Then in meanwhile, I got a partner from Pakistan and I got married with them. And I'm pregnant now for like 21 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is he as well is not having anything in this country. It's like he was on a student visa for 8 years.
Okay.
And then after that, recently he did SLR after the non-family base. And after that, they refused him.
Mm-hmm.
Do the chair.
Okay. Let's not get into that much history. What is your country of origin?
Indian.
Okay, so you are an Indian and you have married a Pakistani, and both do not have any current status. Am I right?
No.
And now you are pregnant.
Yes.
Okay, so this brings into some exceptional circumstances to the case. Okay, now you both belong to countries, unfortunately, who are not on a very friendly relationship. He cannot go to your country easily, and you cannot go to his country easily. I don't have to know, but I assume there may be a difference of religion as well. So, and that means that there are exceptional circumstances involved. On that ground, I suggest, and considering that you're pregnant now, so So Section 55 for welfare of children will involve eventually. I believe that you should file a family application on basis of this.
My religion and his religion is same.
Okay, that's
I
good.
got
That's good.
accused.
Uh-huh.
He was with me with the appeal. I mentioned him as a partner.
Okay.
But they said that, all right, you can go to Pakistan because you'll have a partner now. You're not anymore single.
No, but being an Indian, it's not easy to get into Pakistan or get a visa, spouse visa.
Yeah.
You'll have to show that your husband, can he go easily to India and settle as your family member, or you can go to Pakistan and settle there as a family member easily. I would suggest that you both contact respective high commissions here in London and ask them about the procedure, because in past we have done something like that. The guy was from Pakistan, the girl was from India, and that was application was good. So I would suggest that you should contact your respective high commissions, take the visa procedure confirmation from them, and then on the basis, because it is difficult, and that is why I'm mentioning the exception circumstances. So that would help you. Okay.
Okay, that was really helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, I'm getting a lot of calls which during the calls, and I try to cover that, but please don't get offended if we fail to respond.
Just try to call again. Just try to call again.
Maybe I will ask Sarah to talk to you guys for 2 minutes. In the meanwhile, I will try to locate water around me, so I get some break.
Okay, but you always can have.
Thank you.
Okay.
My cup is there. Thank you.
Okay, so Mr. Rana is taking 2 minutes break. We can understand. Thank you for your helping and for your helps and for supporting us. This is really means a lot for people who's seeking the answers for their queries. Unfortunately, nowadays we are having this is like immigration questions. It's like very, how can I say? It's very wide nowadays. So that's why we're trying to do these live sessions, and it depends on you, let's say public, friends. It depends on how you're gonna react, how you're gonna participate and help us to improve these our sessions and to make it for us much more easier. So it depends on you guys. If you're gonna support us, we can make it more, or we can think about more improvements. We hope so.
Is there any question from online?
Yes, there is lots of questions online, and we're gonna have a look on it. So
one I can see, just Mr. from
yes, Mr. Sarvar Rasulov, I believe he's from Uzbekistan. So he's asking, hi, oops, 1 second. So I would like to know, is there any possibilities? So he would like to know if there is any possibilities to get visa if he's having 100K, being not student.
Being not student.
Yes.
Okay. If I don't know exactly what you're trying to ask. It has to be more specific. Just hold on a second, sir.
It depends on.
I'm just asking you. Just hold on a second. Hello. Just hold on a second, please. So what it has to be done is that I think he's talking about entrepreneur visa. For entrepreneur visa, you need 200,000.
Yes.
If you have 200,000, then you can apply. If you have 100,000, try to find another partner who has 100,000, and then on the basis of that, you can both apply. Hello. Yes. Yeah. How can I help?
I just got a visa back in January 2018, and since then I got the ID card and all the rest of it, but I'm not receiving my passport yet. I did request online like so many times every 10 days, right? Information with caseworker, even I informed my everyone. The home office, I'm not getting any kind of response.
No, but you have received your visa, but not the passport. Am I right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. I mean, keep banging the door.
My embassy, Indian embassy, said, if you get the letter from the UKBA home office, that they lost the passport.
Well, I would suggest that write them a letter, give them a pre-action.
I did write the letter about 3-4 times. I have the receiver there.
Did you receive any kind of response from them?
No.
Okay, in that case, there is a complaint procedure for a home office. I would suggest that you follow the complaint procedure and complain that you are not getting your passport back and your letters are not being responded.
Can I get any email address or something?
If you just go online and try to Google it, you will find. Nowadays, Google is one of the best thing to find things. No?
Just make some research. Yeah.
So just do that. Thank you.
So there is one more question from Mr. Umer Avais. I'm very sorry for our pronunciation if it's wrongly. So there's a question: will you help Nawaz Sharif to get political asylum in the UK?
It's a question from it's a question from Pakistani political perspective. Well, being a lawyer, whosoever is my client, I need to help them. So whosoever comes to me, it's my legal and professional obligation to help them and respond to their queries. And if it's a good case, I should do that. What else?
Yeah. So there is the message from Shams Unnisa. I want to ask something about my visa. So please just email, or you can just call the number above mentioned. And
yes, sir. Hi.
Okay.
Hello. How can I?
Hello.
Yes, I can.
Yes. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
This is from Scotland.
Don't tell me your name. Please just tell me the question.
Details, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
The next question is, can I pass the life in the UK test as well?
Yes, you have to pass live in the UK test. Yes, you have to.
Sure.
Yes, you have to show your income 18,600.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, there's a question. What is EEA procedure settled status?
Well, I am not sure what exactly you want to ask, Mr. Azhar, but if you are asking me about the PR application, the procedure for the PR application is that you have been living in the UK as a family member of an EEA citizen, or you are an EU citizen yourself. Treaty rights have to be exercised continuously for 5 years, and then you can apply for the permanent residence. What exactly you want to ask, I'm not pretty sure.
Okay, there is one more question, which is, can you please tell us the rules for doctors in the UK to enter as a tier 2 holder?
Sorry, say again.
Can you please tell us the rules for doctors in the UK to enter as a tier 2 holder, tier 2 visa holder? Like for doctors.
Can you please tell us the rules for doctors in UK to enter as tier 2? For doctors, rules have been relaxed recently in the latest statement of intent which has been given. So I would suggest that you check that and consult your solicitor, and they will let you know.
Thank you. Okay, try to call. There was no response. Please, there is a call. Please. please
Okay.
try again.
Well,
Whoops,
it's
sorry.
just gone.
Yeah, we just.
I'm sorry, we just dropped by mistake some
By
call.
mistake.
So if you can just call again. Okay.
So there is one more. Yep, take your time. Okay, so there is one more question, which is 7-year child case. How long Home Office take to decide which is the application which is our friend has done? He has done the application in February 2018.
How much time they take?
Yes, how long?
Well, depends on what kind of application it
which
is.
Child case. On 7-year
child
child case. Yes,
the statutory period for such application is up to 6 months. So, frankly, 6 months you do have to wait, and once the 6 months are over, then you can do that.
Basically, like sometimes 6 to 9 even.
It's always good to once you have crossed the statutory period and there is nothing, I would always suggest to involve your MP or write to the Home Office, because the statutory period has gone and you do have a right to get an answer for that. Thank you for all the prayers I can see on the wall.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for them.
Okay.
Do we still have time?
Yes, we're still having time.
Okay. So, any other questions on the wall or something?
Well, someone asked you to talk about TOEIC, if you like.
TOEIC is a complex matter at the moment. There is a general rule. Obviously, now the TOEIC appeals would be there would be a right of appeal in most of the cases, and they would be heard in country appeals, as in country appeals, depending on case to case. So, I would suggest that you do, if you have a decision, you do contact any solicitor of yours and then take advice.
Okay, so there is one more question from Arifa Patel, which is okay. The question on behalf of my friend. So he failed asylum seeker without getting NAS support, which is he has just done further submission as child got British passport and stateless case also biometric done, but still waiting. When they got answer. Seems like the question is when they gonna get the answer.
Well, what I could understand from your question is that the child has already got a British passport as a stateless child. In that case, on the basis of the child, the parents can apply human rights application, and normally it is decided within 6 months.
Yeah, and there is like further question is, and if they granted, can we eligible for use to mainstream benefits?
And if they granted, can we eligible for use to mainstream
whether
benefits?
They can use the benefits?
No, the benefits would be only whatever the benefits the child can get being a British child.
Thank you. And there is no calls yet.
Well, I missed a couple because it was in silent.
It's all right.
If you do have any more questions, then we will answer those questions. We will be taking calls for some more time.
Okay, there is one more question from Mr. Wahid Abdul, which is, can I do FLR FP extension on the same day service?
Can I do FLR
FP? Yeah, on the same day service.
FLR FP
extension
applications or extensions, yes. Extensions you can do on the same day service,
And yes, Mr. Numan Raja, hi there. Thanks for your time. Thank you. Win my appeal. So he has win his appeal on 23rd of May, which is 2017. And it's been more than 14 months and he's still waiting for his residence card. And he has applied already PAP. Still,
They didn't issue the
yes,
card. Well, in
they
that
issue-
case, I would suggest that you file the judicial review.
Yes, so he's asking
Because
what
you
I
are
can-
already given the PAP, so I think you should now go for the judicial review.
Okay. Thank you.
I have a question that children who have been in UK for 7 years, does it give them automatic right to stay? I wouldn't say it's an automatic right to stay. You do have to apply for it, and you do have to establish that why the child cannot start their life back home or the country of their parent. If the child's life has been established so strong in the UK,
Right.
and they do not speak, for example, the language of the country of origin, they have never been to there, these factors are involved. In that case, you can say that the child can apply on the basis of 7 years. So the same application which adults apply, you can say on the basis of their 20 years residence. Also, if the child is born in UK and they have completed a 10 years residence, the child qualifies for the British passport. So many people actually are not aware of it. But if your child is born in the UK and they have completed 10 years of residence, they do qualify for the passport, British passport.
Thank you, Mr. Rana. So no calls at the moment.
Well, I think
You're missing. I think you're just missing the calls.
No, because it's on silent and so many calls we did miss. Mostly people call from no caller ID, and that's why obviously we cannot call them back either. But if somebody wants, they can call back, and then we will reply to their questions.
Okay. There is one more question from Mr. Vakas, which is, he lives in the UK 7 years but 2016 his appeal was refused.
Okay.
And after he left UK, and he has got Italian visa, I think, for 5 years.
Okay.
So I can come work visa in the UK.
We have to know that exactly on what grounds you got your 5 years Italian visa. If it's as a family member of an Italian national, then you and your spouse or family member can always come to UK under the EU laws, EU regulations. If you obtain, let's say, asylum there, and now you want to come, you have to fulfill all the conditions which are normally for the other applicants who are not part of EU. So question has to be more elaborated in that sense.
Okay, thank you. There is one more question from Mr. Ahmed, which is, could you tell me please, does EU dependent visa and student visa combine 10 years long residency?
Could you please, EU dependent visa and student visa?
Student visa combine 10 years.
Long residency.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. See, if you have been a student before for whatever time and then you got your visa during that leave, so you were not an overstay at any stage. Leave was not broken, which is leave under 3C, and you got a visa being a dependent family member of an EU citizen. Yes, that period would qualify. Secretary of State will consider that period in your long residency. For that period, you have to prove that for whatever the period that is, your family member who is EU citizen was exercising treaty rights, and you were their family member. So in case you apply for a permanent residence or residence card, and all the information and documentation you have to give during that, you will have to provide it. But this period, Secretary of State will consider for your long residence.
Okay, thank you so much. And there is the question from Mr. Raja. So last thing, does judicial review affects my court decision?
Judicial review. No. The judicial review will not be against or about the court decision. If I'm right, he asked before that his appeal was allowed
Yes,
and the
appeal was
decision
allowed.
is pending.
Yes, definitely, yeah.
No, this is against the Home Office for keeping your visa pending for so long, like 14 months?
He said
Was it
14 months, yes.
So this is against the Home Office. I would suggest, because they are not listening, they are not replying to that. So the judicial review is against Home Office. That wouldn't affect your decision.
Thank you. And there are people, they're also thanking us for the answering.
Well, thank you very much for being
Thank
part
you.
of it. And I believe we have, we do have completed the time, but still we will take this last call. Hello? Yes, hi there. What is your question, sir?
I just want to know about for the status procedure for the European national, for family member of European national.
Okay, so you are a family member of a European national?
Yeah.
And for...
we did marriage in 2014, and I just want to know, so when our final will be completed.
And when did you get your, have you received your residence card?
Yes, I have received my residence card.
Okay, so, and you got married in 2014?
Yeah.
So from the date of 2014, when you complete your 5 years as a family member of any EU citizen, you are eligible to apply for your permanent residence.
So the final start from my...
From the date of marriage. Yes, 5 years start from your date of marriage.
So not from the residence card.
No.
They gave me residence card in 2015.
Yeah, that's fine. Your 5 years for the permanent residence will start from date of marriage, because that is when you become a family member of an EU citizen. All you have to prove is that your family member has been exercising treaty rights during all this period.
So, like, what is does she my EU national need to work or not need to work?
Yes, she continuously for last 5 years she should have been working.
Because she's living here, she's living with me, so she's working right now because someone told me that they don't need to work.
They always have to work, sir. If they are not working, they have to be self-sufficient. But if they are self-sufficient, then there are certain other requirements they have to fulfill.
So that means in 2019 I can apply for
yes, if you fulfill all the requirements, yes, you can do that.
So what is the full requirement?
Please book an appointment. Come and see me for that. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we take the last question from the wall, and
yes.
then
There is a question from Ms. Yulduz. She's asking, like, what are the chances to get Tier 2 visa for former UK graduates who already left the UK?
Sorry, come again. What is chances?
What are the chances to get Tier 2 visa?
From the UK graduates that left the UK?
Yes, which is already left UK.
You do qualify for one thing. You do have a British degree, you have a exposure to British market already. Yes. What I would suggest is that you do apply if you qualify. The requirements are same, but if you qualify for the requirements and the company, any tier 2 holder sponsor tier 2 sponsor gives you a license, then you do qualify for that. So you do have to fulfill all the other requirements which are there. Okay?
Yeah, thank you so much. Well, so we're still having, I think, 10 minutes left, even though less than 10.
Well, yeah, I think people are busy in the match which has started now. So
yeah,
I think we should also make it an end now. I'm really thankful to you, Sarah, for inviting me
so
or being a part of it. And I'm also thankful to Fraz and the UK Immigration Group and all the people who have been asking questions. Once again, if you contact this number which is has been given already, and book an appointment, we shall be giving you a free consultation because there are certain complex matters which cannot we cannot give an advice on them just like this. So we have to go through the documents and get into the details of the case. In those circumstances, whenever you book an appointment, and you can come and see me, and I will try to be as helpful as I can.
Thank you so much, Mr.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so we are good, and